life became really stressful and difficult, specifically when I started to have other people around me recognize there was a problem.
Chris Bine is a 22-year-old living with a mental health condition. He has been battling with his bipolar condition since the 8th grade.
So I had a really serious head injury at the end of the 8th grade, which triggered the dormant gene for bipolar disorder. And after that, I slowly became manic.
Chris went from being the kid everyone wanted to be around because of his positive attitude to someone they didn't even recognize.
Parents would be really encouraged for their kids to hang around with me because I was a good influence. And I was like a, top A student, really good athlete, just kind of had everything going in place. And then all of a sudden I was sporadic. I was really all over the place. I snuck out of my house. I would stay up all night. I would not sleep at all almost. Maybe I'd sleep 3 hours a night for the course of just weeks and weeks and weeks. And I broke the law, and I was just really not acting like the person that everyone knew.
Chris hasn't let his condition take control of his life, and to make sure it doesn't control the lives of others, he has founded and created his own mental health campaign.
I have always used the analogy depression makes the world change from color to black and white, and so that's just an analogy that I've kind of coined and lived by. And I think it's just a simple way to describe what it's like to experience those mental health challenges. And so one thing that we've done with Listen, Learn, Accept, the LLA campaign, is we've done a Mental Illness Awareness Week photo challenge. And so that looks like during that time period, people are encouraged to post a picture of themselves with a black and white filter and use that caption to just spread awareness about depression and mood disorders. And LLA is specifically speak up for mental illness, but promote acceptance for mood disorders.
Part of the inspiration that Chris got for his campaign came from him not having resources that were easily accessible while in college or just didn't meet the needs of the students.
At Ithaca College, I chose to not go to CAPS, the Counseling and Psychological Services, which is the on-campus counseling service, because I realized that with CAPS, it's just not really something that meets the demands of the students. They don't really have enough resources to properly allow you to see a therapist regularly. So CAPS is more for immediate crisis stuff, so that if something really goes wrong, you can go to CAPS, you can see a counselor, and then they can take you to the hospital, or they can, do the necessary things. But it's not something that they have the resources and funding to consistently see you and to have you meet with the therapist on a regular basis. And it's a shame, but it's pretty problematic in the fact that a lot of people, if they want to have consistent services and counseling, they have to go off campus because the on-campus services just don't provide that way.
Many students, besides Chris, across the country have complained about college counselors not having enough time on their hands to be able to meet with each student when they need to talk with someone.
I've never really used any sort of psychological help my entire life until this year. There's a lot to do with my anxiety and panic attacks that I've been experiencing, especially this second semester, as far as being productive, waking up on time, getting my schoolwork done, which has been a big problem for me. So that's why I decided to seek help with the psychological services at Cabrini. And I did find them to be somewhat helpful. It definitely helped me get some stuff off my chest that I never told anybody, not my friends, not my mom. So it was great to feel that weight after talking to them a little bit.
Brian is one of many students nationwide who has dealt with the struggles of not being able to meet with an on-campus professional during the hours that he needed them.
When I tried to schedule my appointment, obviously I wanted it to be as soon as it could be. I would have went that day because I was experiencing panic attacks, like I said. And so they pushed me back for about a week and a half for a scheduled appointment, which that's a bummer, but it's how it goes sometimes. But like I said, I was able to go in for the walk-in hours and really helped me get some stuff off my chest.
It could be that they have so much demand that they still can't accommodate all the requests or in the times that the students need to be accommodated. There's so many logistical complexities with that. And so I'd say that it's really a shame, and that I would really encourage universities to do more, because mental health is just as important as physical health. And everyone has mental health. Not everyone has mental illness, but mental health needs to be taken care of and addressed. And so for these people to not have their needs met is it's a crime.